live stream, I can see.
Just a minute, I'm just doing that now. And then just tell me that when should I start recording the session? If
I
something.
think we can hit it as usual. Yeah, so this is
It is saying that live streaming isn't available right now. Why?
no, it looks like it's working. I can see it's working.
Okay.
You can
Let me
see on the
record the
side.
session. Let me record the session as
We
well.
can always record this.
Okay, everything is set now.
Awesome. So unlike usual, we will kick off very not on the same time, 6:05, but a bit early today. Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
But I can see all the usual guys coming in. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So this is like our last weekend, before the time will change. So it's a very late night in India. So
It's late
I'm
night in
not.
India, but Pooja is not in India though. Yeah. So
yes, Pooja is in the special place right now.
so she can talk about that when we kick this off and pass
Yes.
it on to why is she looking so different today. But that's not the session. Yeah, the session is
I
different.
mean, yes, there is a difference between 11 p.m. call and like 2 p.m. call.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to sleeping after this. So,
Yeah. Renika, do you think my volume will come through or not? Do you think so?
So when you share the screen, Sumit, you just need to click on the share the audio as well. There is a one left hand side corner button. You have to click
Okay.
that.
Let me try that one more time then.
Yes.
So when I share, and there is a share sound button, yep.
Yep.
And then share. Okay, looking good. Take two. So yeah, welcome everyone again. We will kick it off now, 6:05. Always a good time to start. So I just wanted to remember, and feels very sad that, it's been an interesting journey. We kicked it off during the International Women's Day. We had an amazing idea to actually contribute and give something back to the society on the community. Pooja came up with this idea saying, why don't we do that to on the day? Yeah. So 8th of what was the date
March.
again? Yeah, Pooja. So he came up with this idea. So we had the kickoff of this thing, the low code special with FlutterFlow. Today is a bit different. We have Pooja, plus we have a special guest from the team. We'll talk about that, but just to remind everyone that, Gigi London has been organizing this, and today we have multiple guests in our show who's going to talk a little bit more about FlutterFlow. But how it all started, we had literally 100 registrations, so people wanting to join this, and we did go through few of them, and unfortunately we have to always keep it smaller. So 75 participants was selected, and they were from all around the world, like 10 different countries. I had the graph of which one was bigger, but I thought not to add it today. Yeah. So people joining from everywhere, and this is making us always proud to bring it to so many different places. Yeah.
Yeah.
How it all went through. So we did introduction, UI, state management, external data. I think that was the most amazing session when we started.
What happened? Sumit, it's...
so amazing that you left.
He left?
Just hit on some
I think
button.
without technical glitch, not any program will go run like that. Just a minute, we can just give us second, then I can just message him. Give me just 2 seconds. I will message him. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds.
Meanwhile, I see a lot of people who have submitted the assignments. How many of you still left to like do an assignment? If you can like just, ping in the chat.
Hello, did I drop off? Sorry.
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay. Which place did I drop off?
Oh, much before this. Like
Much before this. Okay.
yeah, we
Here,
were talking about
yeah.
the session. We're talking about the data session being amazing, and then you left.
Okay. No, I think it was the Zoom which says there is some kind of accessibility I have to do, but yeah. But I'm still talking. Yeah, you can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. So before I hand it off to you again, Pooja, quiz, the usual quiz. So yeah, if someone can say what is this, or put it on chat, or even use the microphone. It's literally on the main dashboard, no? Somewhere, I think.
Yes, on the sidebar.
On the sidebar. Yeah, dashboard sidebar.
That's it.
Yeah, Melike, you're right. API is to define an API call, and that's what we did last time.
Yeah.
So correct. So I'll pass it on to you, and then we talk about the next thing. So yeah, Pooja, over to you, and I will stop sharing.
Awesome. So again, familiar faces. Definitely, we are on the 4th week, and even though there is like so much more to learn, even after this, today we'll be covering, something that people who are coming from the Flutter, world will be comfortable with, or like have been requesting for, like how we can add customizations to our application. And we will be covering like how we write custom code with Flutter and Dart. And I think I did show how we could deploy last week as well. Some of you already deployed and shared your like the final project link, and also the FlutterFlow link as well. So honestly, like great work. There were like some amazing work. Honestly, like I don't think we had a lot of time. Like we probably only just had like 3 or 4 or 4.5 days or something to actually submit that assignment. So kudos to all of you. And I have heard such great ideas last week, which that you're going to be doing after this workshop gets over. So really looking forward to what you're going to be building after this workshop gets over, and hopefully we'll be able to be your users. So we have a very exciting day today. We are going to be talking first about like a very short session on custom code, and then we will have Leah talk about the roadmap, and you can ask questions about like things about the future of FlutterFlow, or like what's happening, or whatever doubts that you have. So to begin with, I am gonna first share my screen. 1 second. All right. I don't have my monitor today, so I'm a little handicapped. Okay. Do you see the web page? Okay, awesome.
You see
All
the
right.
FlutterFlow dashboard. Yep.
Yes. All right. So so basically we till this week we actually talked about a bunch of things in terms of like how you can define like APIs natively in FlutterFlow, and it how you can basically connect with Firebase, and there's a lot of smooth connections already done for you, and you just like have to like click a few buttons, and like things are done for you, like the connection, or like just add an action to create an account or log in, and just provide the text field data and stuff like that. But there will always be certain places where you feel like, okay, this is currently not available in the native possibilities of FlutterFlow, and I know that I can just write some Flutter code to get this done. And as like developers, we always like, you know, think in code as well. So that's something that even I use a lot, because sometimes like, you know, I can just write 2 lines for it and like get it done kind of thing. So I will introduce you to custom code that we might have like touched maybe like very briefly before, but this is where you can write a custom widget, like, you know, a very complex UI element that you probably need to work on, or like you need to like get a, you know, a package from PubDev and like, you know, combine that with some widgets and like build a component of sorts kind of thing, right? So definitely, accept the package part, you can definitely do that in the FlutterFlow UI builder. But if you have to like integrate a package or like, you know, use a package from pub.dev, at that point of time, that's where customizations comes into the picture, right? So like I did an example here for a custom widget, which is for Shimmer. Like there is a package called Shimmer in pub.dev. And yeah, maybe I can do it as well in FlutterFlow as well. But I probably don't want to do all that work again if there's already a package available. So what I just did is that I found the package here, and whatever is the version. I mean, technically speaking, honestly, sometimes I don't even put my version in PubSpec. I just like, you know, just you decide the most compatible version. So I don't even add the version sometimes. But yeah, we will, that's a debatable um, practice. So here, what I did is I basically name the widget here. It creates a stateful widget for me. So if I see, basically, I create a new one. So here it's a new custom widget. Cool. It's a new custom widget. And then you can write that stateful widget here yourself. But I can also like, you know, just pick out the boilerplate code from here and just get this. If I can move it, the 1 second. So that's why you need a monitor.
Yeah,
Yes.
you literally need a monitor for
So,
almost look like so habitual with a monitor now.
yeah, I mean, how do you move this? Top to top. Okay, cool. So you copy this to editor. All right. Like even if I change my name, like new widget or something like that, I can pick out the boilerplate code again and copy to editor, and it just creates that boilerplate code where you can add your return, the container, like whatever widget that you are building for custom, right? So in this, and then definitely save it, compile it as well. This is what I've done for the Shimmer. So in this case, I added my PubSpec dependency Shimmer. I can even remove this and just add Shimmer, and it will give me back the most compatible version. And just add this refresh code editor. And after it compiles, I can basically import the Shimmer package here. And I just added the example from the pub.dev. So, or whatever, you can change it. And now you have a Shimmer widget created. So save it. You can also add different parameters in case like the width and height, or like, let's see, the color, maybe anything, yeah, item count or whatever it is. If you want these stuff or these values to come from the main page, like where you're using it, like I'm guessing I'm gonna use the Shimmer for like the list page, right? So I can basically provide the color and everything here, add the parameters here or something like that. You know, the same way we were doing for a page, passing data between pages or components and stuff like that. So I'm gonna remove this. And yeah, definitely save it. Make sure to compile it. And once you're done compiling it, we go back to our editor, and your custom widget will now be available for you to use it in your canvas. So in this case, like I created a component. which I called it shimmer loader grid. And then I also had a shimmer loader list, which is for like a list, a view shimmer and a grid view shimmer kind of a thing. So here, if I like when I have these commonly used elements such as the native widgets, I can also add the custom widgets. So here, if you have the custom components, now you have the shimmer loader grid, which is a widget written purely in Flutter and Dart. So we have this, and you can basically add this here. And if you see, this will look like, this diamond icon. So another quiz opportunity here. But yeah, so here it will come up here. And now that's it. You're basically composing that custom widget into your layout, and you just work around it like a normal FlutterFlow UI screen. So that's about like custom widgets. So if you want to work with some packages and stuff like that. Now there are two other things, which is custom functions and custom actions. So we learned for the last 2 weeks what actions are. It's basically like a function that you can trigger on gesture, on tap, on page load, or some kind of a trigger like API calls, or a Firebase create account is an action, or like showing a snack bar, it's going to be an action. So there could be a lot of different actions that you probably can write from scratch as well. Again, something that also uses maybe pub.dev, or like a package from pub.dev. So I prepared an example for you where even for more complex code, where like you have to have an initialization for your audio player, suppose, right? And you need to initialize that audio player in your main.dart, and there will be different functions for play audio, stop audio, pause audio, right? So what I have prepared is one of like few of these actions around, so that you can see how they can communicate with each other, or like how this overall thing looks like when you're using it in your application. So the first action that I created is an init audio player. And I just created a singleton class where I have this player controller that I'm initializing here. Technically, in this case, it would not have been required because you probably would have got a singleton object anyway. But still, I'm just showing you in case you have an initialization logic that has to happen before you can start using the controllers of, like a video player or whatever it is. In that case, I will create my own class inside an action. And this is a helper class, you can say. And then this particular thing, if you see init audio player, it is the same action name as this, right? So this is going to be my action that I get to call from the action flow editor or something, So this is like here, this is the one that is actually initializing this audio player. Okay. So we have the initialization done. And of course, I have to mention that the pub spec that we are using here, suppose, is the just audio package, right? So in this case, we also get to import the just audio package once the compilation is done. And if I have any arguments, if I have any return value, then basically the same thing. Here, if you're doing an initialization, there is no return value. So this is your initialization action. Then there will be an action, suppose, for a play audio or pause audio or stop audio or something of that sort, right? So what we can do here is that we don't have to initialize audio player again, right? So what I just do is that I actually get my object from that player controller object again from my singleton class, and then just do player.play, player.pause, player.stop, or whatever it is, right? So obviously in this case, this is one single, obviously single responsibility always, right? So we will have one single action for play audio, one single action for stop audio or something of that sort. And we will keep on creating these actions here. Now the question is how we are going to be adding this logic into the application. So we have just created functions, we haven't used it. Now, technically speaking, play audio is something that has to happen on a button click, suppose, right? Like you have maybe in our recipe or meal app, we have a audio player that tells us the recipe in audio, right? So in that case, let's assume that we go back to our UI and let's assume that this is the button for it, okay? Or here there will be some other button which has the audio icon. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna play the audio here. So open, and I'm gonna play audio. So if you see, this is coming under custom sections, play audio. And there is no arguments that I have to send to this to make it play. So there's nothing. So I'm basically, after that, I do, I don't know, navigate or whatever, right? So if you see now, your custom code is now part of your canvas in a way, or like your or your action flow editor, and you can basically use your Flutter code, Flutter widgets, Flutter actions, Flutter functions into this visual format as well. So this was just about playing the audio, but let's also let you know that we haven't yet actually initialized it anywhere, the audio player. So what happens here is that, technically speaking, the good practice would be to initialize the audio player maybe in the main, because if you want the object to be available everywhere in the whole application, we want to actually enable in the main.dart. And this is also possible in FlutterFlow today, where you have the main.dart, which is what's exactly happening in your void main. And you can add an action here, either, so basically, if you see here, this is an initial action that happens before the FlutterFlow theme is initialized, that is happening before the app state is created, or like, definitely before run up for sure. And then you have these final action, which is like after the initialized persisted state that happens right after this. So just before run app is called, this is the final action that is being called. So what happens here is that I'm going to delete it first and show you again. So here, this is your basic code of your main.dart when you create an FlutterFlow project. And now I want to add maybe a final action, because this is probably less important than these. So like this, the priority would be like after this. So I'm going to add a final action here and say init audio player. So now this is added here. So whatever initialization you want to do just before the run up is called, you can do it here. I also have another one, which is like add app lifecycle observer. I would maybe do it before this, suppose, let's say. So I do it add app lifecycle observer, which is like, if you see it here, it's just, creating creating this app lifecycle observer class with the widgets binding observer. Then you basically override the did change app lifecycle state, and like what do you want to do when it's resumed, what do you want to do when it's paused, and stuff like that. So like for the global application, that's the detail is not the point. The point is that in the main.dart, I am able to like add initialization logic as well through these actions. So there are two places that you could have used your actions. One is in the action flow editor on page load, on a tap, on a gesture, right? And second, if it's an initialization action, then in that case, you can also put it in the main.dart as well. So that was on custom actions. Now we have another, or also custom files, which is main.dart. And we also have something called custom functions, which is just sync functions, like no async data, very quick transformational logic, like, oh, do you want to basically get like a random name from a list of objects or something, a random item from the list of objects or something, or like you want to like convert the list into a map or whatever it is, like you want to do something transformational and you just want to grab some value from it, and this will be used in places like, suppose, my meal name. In this case, I can have a meal name, or like when I bind that data with like a variable, I can also search for this function like get meal, or what the name is, get random meal, and this will give me back a string, right? And I just need to provide a list of data, which is a list of meal, which is in suppose app state confirm. It will find a random meal object and then set my variable to it. You can do it here. Well, basically, wherever you're actually wanting to transform some values, you can, do it via the visual editor as well, but also you can also just write a quick Dart function and just use it in your data binding as well. There is another way of doing it as well. So it's kind of like something that depends on your choice. That one, you can write a Dart function, or you can also use this code expression thing, which is again going to be the same thing, which is like you decide what are the arguments. And suppose I have a string var1 and var2, I can probably do var1 dot contains var2, and the return type would be a Boolean, right? And it will just, it's a very quick function that I want to basically, do for this particular data binding. So you can do this via a function. If that, I mean, technically speaking, I like doing it via function sometimes because I can basically know the set of functions that I have or I've been using, or I can reuse it at places. Because if I do a code expression here and I want to do this in another page as well, I will have to write a code expression again. So I would rather use a function that I can reuse at different data bindings. So, but if you're doing it a single time, definitely this is also one way where you can just use a simple Dart expression. So that was basically all the custom code or customizations that you can do with, like, writing a Flutter and Dart code from scratch. So yeah, that I already showed you also, like the deployment. I think that's completely fine, where you can basically do deployment from here. So like you can just publish, give a custom name or whatever, and it will just be your .flutterflow.app, or like, just have custom domains as well. So that was mostly that I wanted to discuss today about like customization mostly. So any questions? I will stop sharing so I can see the Zoom call.
Yep, there are some questions, but this completely blew my mind. I was like, after session 3, like, what would be needed? And this is amazing already. And then seeing the possibilities, it's almost like infinity and beyond. It's so much you could do with this now. Especially like if something is missing, you guys actually thought about it, that you just write some custom code. And well, I was thinking nothing is missing, but at the same time, if it is, then then it's like, wow, yeah, more stuff. Amazing. That was good.
Awesome. Like definitely there are a lot of improvements that we can do even here, but yeah, definitely when I coming from a developer background, as I said, like I think in code, so sometimes a visual environment is not like a, something that I directly can get adjusted to. So I can write a quick function and just use it in my code editor, the visual editor itself, and slowly just learn the platform as well. That's how I did when I started learning FlutterFlow. I was using the custom code part a lot. Now, not like half of the times I'm using it because now I have understood the platform more. But earlier I'm like, yeah, I can do it in a custom widget. I can just create a stateful widget. I can create a custom function. So yeah, I think anyone who's coming from that background as well, hopefully this will, make the development with FlutterFlow even better and easier, and like let you create more complex logic as well.
Yep. There's no reason for not to do it anywhere, because just if you're coming from that space, you could actually try that and also try the drag and drop and then the actions and everything else. And then the terminology looks almost the same. So it's so easy to actually say, oh, I'm coming from here. I can then transition into using the platform itself, or I can be what I like to do. Yes, like a lot of code. So yes, awesome. You kept the best for the last. It looks like it.
I want people to come back.
Yeah. Awesome. That is good. So some questions on the chat if you want to take in, Pooja.
Yeah, that if I see a question on like, editing Android iOS specific files, like we basically, like it's not something that we immediately provide like the manifest file to you that you can edit yourself, but like suppose permissions and stuff like that, right? If you want to add permissions, there is if you go to the settings page itself, you can add permissions for iOS and Android, and add permission message and stuff like that. You want to like change some of the version of what was it, like something in Android as well, Android build Gradle version itself, you can change all that. So, and that will translate into the changes in the manifest file. So again, everything that, or I would not say everything, there might be certain things missing, and I know of that, but they're like permission stuff and all that kind of thing. These are all given to you visually that you can change and add in a way, and that will translate to the manifest file changing.
Good. Awesome. So I think I'm going to move on. And then if you have more questions, use the chat. Something can come in and say, oh, I forgot to ask. So a lot of people may be waiting for this, the award ceremony, and it's amazing. I think I'm feeling very sad about today as such. It
Yeah,
has been an amazing 4 weeks and interesting new learning. It's always fun to actually learn something new. Yeah, and today is a time when we will be closing it. So closing is around some awards. So Pooja, you saw this while you were doing some reviews. Yeah. So I picked that some of the so there were good examples out there, and we picked a few. So there could be others, but we said we may not have enough time to cover them all. So I really like this one. And again, if Kevin wants to take a chance here and talk about it, the experience he had building this, and the others who actually were not as much as part of this can also get inspired of building something like this. So Kevin, are you there today or not?
I think I have seen him. Yeah,
Yes, can you hear me? Good?
yeah, we can hear you.
Well, I think that FlutterFlow is a really good platform. I'm really surprised that the vitamin, the easier way to learn Flutter. Honestly, when I started this class, I didn't know how to make for the final project. I don't have an idea, but some friend tell me, bro, you have a little idea of something you do every day, and I I take maybe 3 days for do the assignment, and I like too much the platform, and I really I really have good expectations for improve my abilities with this platform. And thank you.
Yeah.
That's
While I was
great.
looking at it, Pooja, so does it support multilingual? Was it easy? Or Kevin, did you do multilingual here? Because I didn't see the code. You were doing the review, Pooja.
You can, yes. If you're asking me,
Uh,
not you're asking Kevin. I didn't see the multilingual part, but in his project. But Kevin, do you want to talk about that?
We think we can't hear.
sorry. You're checking to me. Excuse me. Can you repeat?
Yeah, I see Spanish in here, no? So I was just wondering, did you use the multilingual aspect of FlutterFlow? Like Pooja just said, you can. So
Yes.
is that something that you did, or you just did it all in Spanish?
Yes, I actually, in my drawer, I add two buttons, one translation for English and another translation for Spanish.
Oh, that's
Beautiful,
great.
beautiful, awesome. Cool. All right.
So,
So next one again, Wasif. It's blurry. Wow. So it was another app which has multi-screen navigation and sensor. So picked it up, liked it. More effort than others. So Wasim, if you want to say something about it.
Yeah, I mean, the idea for the app, I actually like did it in like web because like I know how to do like full stack web development. So trying to learn how to do it in Flutter was really interesting. I'm still a bit like it's hard for me to do like API calls on FlutterFlow, but I'm still learning about it. But I really enjoyed making this project.
Wasim, so was it the first time you were in the Flutter world? So is it
Yeah,
welcome to
this is
the
my first
community
time
for
using
you?
Flutter and
that's
FlutterFlow.
a
Yeah.
great news, yeah.
Yeah. So
We are
tell us more
converting
about you.
people to the Flutter world now.
Tell us more about yourself. So, what are you? Can React or what's
Yeah.
your
I'm a full stack web developer. I use the MERN stack, so like Express, MongoDB, and React. So and I've been doing it for a few years, and I like use it for like competitions and my own personal projects.
Wow, well done. And again, as I said, it's a way to come into the world of Flutter. And you said you did it very quick, and it's not like we spent weeks and months. No, it's just a few quick. I think 4 sessions, and then you are able to build something like that. So awesome, pretty good,
Thank you.
and inspiring others to actually build. Then we have our good old Jason. Really, like I was playing around it, so you can see me there. Yeah. So this was a working app, and it has some history and everything else. So Jason, are you there? I think he wanted to talk about this. No, he's not there today. I think he's not there today. No. Yeah.
Let me check. I No, I think he's not here today.
It's not yet. Yeah, so a good Pomodoro. I'd like the animation. It was actually ticking through. Yeah, so
Okay.
the circle moves. It also is talking to Firebase. So all in all, a complete app
Yeah,
with multiple options of login and log out. So yeah, well done him.
yeah.
Funny app. I was very careful to pick Abhishek because there's so many mimes that would not be, yeah, that I couldn't take a screenshot of. Yeah. So Abhishek, you would like to, it's a mime searcher or yeah, mime show or something like that. Abhishek, are you
Yeah,
there?
hi all. Yes, Sumit. So at start, actually, I was very confused. What should I take? Because I thought of creating an app which use AI. So then all are paid and there were minimum transaction which I did. Then I found just a random link which has thousands of templates available for this means. And I just use it. You can create whatever text you want to return and you can just share on the social media. So that's
Awesome.
the
Good.
whole idea, and it has Firebase also.
Yeah,
It has,
okay.
it's okay. It has Firebase also. Nice. All right.
Mm.
So yeah, so some inspirations for others who actually were thinking what to build. This is although a 2-page app, but I feel like the cleanness and the neatness here. So Arjun, if you are there, maybe you can talk about your stuff.
Yeah, this is I found the free API from the Google and just attach in this page. So this page also present in themes of FlutterFlow. I just random picked up and attached the API
Okay.
of the.
Awesome. And how much time did you take? So after learning everything else, because this is close to what we were doing anyway, the Meals app, but I think you had a different perspective of the same, no? So you're actually thinking different to make it, I think it's called as a shop something, if I remember the project name.
Yeah.
Shop now, shop wow, something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, just like a product listing API. So I just attached the free API in Google's present. So I attach the themes present in FlutterFlow.
Yep. So good, thank you. So let's move on. As usual, we have some outstanding performance. So what does that mean? They joined most of the calls. They also finished assignments. They were doing few Q&As and also were engaged on Slack. So congratulations for the guys who are the outstanding performance, and actually makes us happy. Again, Renuka, if you want to say a few words here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it always looks like a when we give this like a creating this slide and the numbers are increasing. It feels so happy that we have started something and it's showing them some results. So this is always like a good to see all these things. The people are learning from this definitely and doing amazing jobs.
Yep.
So yep.
So congratulations for your effort. It also takes it's always like we are trying to give, but I think you guys have to also take. So you joined most of the sessions. I think some of them joined every session here and
Yep.
also finished the assignments.
Yep.
Some of them who were not able to join some sessions, but still congratulations to you guys also for finishing your work. So there is a place where we have uploaded all your certificates. Yeah,
Yep.
so it's the same. I think it's the same place. If you are not able to find it, ping me on Slack. Let me just quickly show you. So all your certificates are here.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can grab your certificate, maybe post it online, or also show that you
Tag
actually
the
spent.
GDG London and the FlutterFlow definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So we have created certificates for you, so you could definitely look for it. If you miss someone or if there were some problems, do ping me on Slack or
Yep.
Renuka or Pooja. We will try to help you. Yep.
Yep.
So well done all. It takes time and effort. I know you guys may be working currently someplace, or so it is something you're doing it out of that. But I think it was amazing from our point of view to actually host you, to take you through the journey of learning FlutterFlow. So I
And
think,
yeah,
yeah.
here is the our special guest today, Leah. She's from the Flutter Flow team. So I think hi Leah, welcome to the Flutter Devcamp. Are you able?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, hi Leah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
So Leah, welcome to the Flutter Devcamp. We are doing this Devcamp from last 3 years. So this time we are very happy to host you in our platform. So yeah, Sumit, do you want to ask something to Leah?
No, so I think first of all, we are amazed to have you here. Yeah, so
Yeah,
definitely. I heard that something new is cooking there, and you have a lot of information about
yeah,
something new. So, like as I was telling Pooja, like we went through, like I also trained myself while going through this, and session 3, we were like, yeah, fine, we could do most of it. Yeah, and then it has been very well thought through. Application, the dashboards, the icons, even like there are so much small details you guys have that helps someone who is coming from different world to say, okay, this is what it could be, the meaningful and the documentation and everything else. So what would be new? Is
Yeah,
there
well,
anything
why
new
don't
left?
I share
Yeah,
my screen and I can kind of walk through a little bit of our roadmap and give you all an idea of where we're heading.
sure,
awesome.
sure. Yeah, that's amazing thing. Yeah, we can see the
Okay,
roadmap.
great. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So like Pooja, I'm not on a monitor right now, and right now I'm getting this spinning wheel of death. So my computer's freaking out. There we go. All right. Can you all see my slides okay?
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah, so I joined the FlutterFlow team about 2 months ago. It's so fun getting to work with Pooja. We're sitting right next to each other right now, and this is great. She's in New York. It's a really fun time to be a part of this team. But as a company, we've really spent the past couple of weeks thinking through our strategy and what we're planning to build into the product in the next couple of months. So I'll give you an idea of where we're headed. And I'm not sure if you covered this in the kind of beginning of this workshop, but FlutterFlow's mission as a company is to help the world build great products. And when that comes to our product, we've kind of set this overarching product vision. So I know that we've all been referring to FlutterFlow as a low-code tool, but a lot of you I've heard come from some development background, and you might already have like a bias towards the word low-code tool. Usually it means that you're like sacrificing on your app's quality, or maybe you're giving up certain features that you wanted to build just in order to move quickly. So really our long-term vision for FlutterFlow is that you're not sacrificing on quality or features. Instead, you're able to build anything that you would in a traditional integrated development environment, but now with a visual ease. So we're going to start referring to FlutterFlow as a visual development environment. And we really think this visual development environment will have two main benefits. For developers, we think that this is going to make you way faster. And for not so technical users, we really see this as a way to give you superpowers. So that's kind of our overarching mission, but how do we actually live up to that? Like, what's our product strategy to make this happen? So on the developer side, like I mentioned before, we want to make developers faster, but we don't want you to sacrifice on features for your app or your app's quality. And we're thinking about this in two main ways. The first one is walking through all the best practices from traditional software development and trying to integrate that into the FlutterFlow platform. The second part is now taking these workflows and simplifying them by creating a really nice, easy to use user interface, integrating AI where possible, and basically trying to make common workflows just really easy and fast in this visual way. And for our not so technical users, like I said, we want to give these people superpowers, but we don't want to abstract away too many concepts. Instead, we want to educate everyone to build up that foundational knowledge so that you can leverage these best practices and really create a high quality experience for your users. And we're thinking about that in two ways. The first one is education. And, Pooja is a key player in this. So figuring out how do we educate our users on best practices for front-end development or app development in general. And the other one is, again, just ensuring that we have a really intuitive, easy-to-use user interface inside of our platform. So that's kind of our key product vision, our strategy. And now I'll just give you a quick glimpse into our roadmap. So really what we're doing to get there. And we've structured our roadmap to have a couple of themes. And I'll talk about each one of these in a minute. But basically these themes are app architecture, testing and debugging, collaboration, and user experience. And I put user experience across all of these because even though we have some dedicated projects to help with user experience, we're really thinking across the board of how we can try to make the UX inside the FlutterFlow platform much better. So the first theme here is app architecture. And really this centers around those best practices in software development that I was referring to. So specifically, we want to make sure we're promoting encapsulation, so containing different pieces of logic or pieces of UI so that your code and your app inside of FlutterFlow is organized and you have pieces that are reusable in multiple places. And we want to make sure that if you're using best practices in FlutterFlow, that the generated code also aligns with best practices that are coming from Flutter and Dart and those standards. So we have a couple of different projects planned for this year in this app architecture theme. And I won't go into too much detail because some of it we're trying to, keep a surprise. But one thing that we're currently working on that I'm really excited about is this concept of app modules. So right now, if you have app state variables, then you kind of have them all in this single app state variable class. And first of all, that might make it
hard for you to kind of organize your different state variables or find them when you need to use them. But it also isn't great in terms of performance of your app because you're constantly watching this entire class for updates. And it might mean that you're doing things like rerunning backend queries unnecessarily just because of the way it's all structured in the code. So we're envisioning app modules as a way to kind of encapsulate and organize and reuse data in terms of both state variables and backend queries, and also logic in terms of custom functions that you create or actions and action blocks. The other theme that I mentioned is testing and debugging, and this is focused around making it much easier for you to run your app while you're building it, to test things and to troubleshoot where things are going wrong. One of the hard parts about working in this visual development environment is it is a bit of an abstraction over code. And sometimes that can feel like a black box where something is going wrong, but you're not actually sure what it is or how to even figure out what went wrong. So one thing we're working on right now is a debug panel. So our vision for this is when you initiate like a test mode session, hopefully we can make it work for local run sessions as well. But when you're testing your app or running your app, we'll display crucial information like real-time variable values or activity statuses, which are essentially just like visual activity logs, like what was the function that ran or what was the action that ran, what were the inputs, what was like a console output, what are the outputs of those activities. Basically trying to mimic like standard debugging practices if you were to go like add a bunch of print statements into your code or try to like step through your code using breakpoints. The next theme is collaboration, and this is really focused around modular development, comprehensive access management, and making sure that you have really robust version control so that you have control over different versions of your app. And there are two core projects we're working on for this. The first one is just upgrading our branching. And I'm not sure if you went through branching this week, but if you didn't, we have some lightweight branching capabilities right now that are somewhat similar to what you would do in like a traditional Git workflow, but we're bringing this to the next level. We're improving the user experience here, fixing some core issues, but also adding things like branch level permissions, the ability to show a visual diff when you make a commit, a pull request workflow. So again, kind of mimicking what you would see in traditional software development that uses Git version control workflows. And the other project is we're calling libraries. And basically, if you want to reuse pieces of a FlutterFlow application in multiple projects, right now it's kind of difficult. We have these things called team libraries. We also have stuff in the marketplace. We have templates, but they all kind of serve parts of the pie, but not the whole thing. So instead, we're going to rethink projects. And instead of a project in FlutterFlow being an app, a project will be more similar to just like a folder or a repository of different stuff. And that stuff can be data types. It can be app modules like we talked about before. It can be UI components or pages. And we're trying to make it really easy to import all those different things and reuse them across projects or share them with the community or share them with other people in your team, while again, having that proper version control. So that's strongly related to that first part. And then last is the user experience. And again, with all these themes, we have a lot of other stuff planned besides the projects I'm telling you, but I just wanted to give you a quick preview. I'm really excited about a lot of the UX changes we're making. Some of them are small things that are really there to try to reduce clicks and ensure visual consistency across the platform. We're also thinking a lot about how we can incorporate AI in places that you don't even really notice by just doing like more intelligent suggestions or trying to like offer the ability to generate things from prompts or generating descriptions and things like that for you. But we're also really focusing on allowing users to seamlessly switch between working in code or working in a user interface. So like Pooja was just talking about custom code and FlutterFlow. And while it's a great start, like there's a lot that needs to be improved. The experience right now isn't, as good as you would have if you were just opening up a folder in your local VS Code environment. So the first project we're really working on in this UX theme is just replacing the FlutterFlow code editor with a full VS Code experience. So you'll have like the entire directory of generated code to see, as opposed to just, your custom functions. You'll be able to have like core IDE features, like being able to right click on a class name and jump to that class definition. And we're really going to think about how we can incorporate this code in more places in the platform. So like more seamless linking to files and generated code, so it doesn't feel so isolated and like these different experiences. So anyway, that was kind of a high level overview of our strategy and like a peek into some of the things we're working on now. But I'm really excited about, everything we're working on. And I hope you all are too. I have 2 minutes before I have to jump to another meeting, but I could take like a couple of questions or comments if you have them.
Thank you so much, Leah. I have one question for you.
Yeah.
So Leah, right now people are using ChatGPT or people are using AI to create the code, right? So what is the situation with FlutterFlow, or are they able to create any use the ChatGPT to create any code for FlutterFlow as well, or do you
Yeah.
have any kind of Duet AI or something inbuilt in itself in the FlutterFlow?
I mean, that's already out. We actually have a Copilot that's already available. So in the same view, I wonder if I can just share my screen. I don't have FlutterFlow up right now. But yeah, this is already available, but it's also a core workflow that we're thinking through of how we can improve the responses that the bot is giving, and also how to make it a more seamless user experience to maybe show a visual difference of the suggestions and accept or reject like specific suggestions. So yeah, certainly top of mind.
Okay, that's great. So, is anybody have any question for Leah?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, from Colombia. I was
Hello.
wondering, yeah, I was wondering something because you said that FlutterFlow is no low code, for example, interface, but it's a visual interface. I was wondering if FlutterFlow uh, wants to implement for more accessibility, for example, for other developers like Spanish, its interface in other language. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is definitely something we were talking about. In fact, we were just talking about it at a meeting yesterday of like, can we better localize our interface? A fun fact is we have at least one FlutterFlow developer in over 150 countries. Like when you look at the map of our user base, it is wild. It covers like every piece of the world, which is really remarkable. But we understand there are a lot of like non-English speaking folks who are using FlutterFlow, and it's much harder for them. So while it's not specifically on our roadmap right now, it's definitely something that we're talking about and figuring out what we can do to make it a better experience for you all.
Okay, got it.
I unfortunately need to jump to another meeting, but thank you so much for inviting me. And I hope that we'll all stay connected in the FlutterFlow community, and best of luck with the rest of your bootcamp.
Thank you so much, Leah. Thanks for coming and giving your the showing the roadmap for the FlutterFlow for all the participants. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. All right, bye.
Thanks. Bye. So Pooja is here. Is anybody have any questions? She can
All right.
answer. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was on.
So is anybody have any question for Pooja?
I do also have another meeting, but I can wait for like for 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you have some questions, definitely put it in the chat. But I feel like having the Slack channel open so that if you have any questions there, you can put it in the chat, and chat as in like in the Slack channel. So even if at one point of time I'm not available to respond, if anyone else has already gone through that topic or gone through that experience, they can also respond. So we can basically build together and like help each other, and that entirely about community, right?
Yeah.
definitely let's keep the Slack channel open, and that's why I have a separate channel, right?
That's great. Let me
Yeah.
share my slides just a minute because we are also going in the fast. Just give me. Are you able to see my slides? So we are also coming at the end of the program. As such, just a minute. I just need to. Why it's not able to? Okay. So yeah, as mentioned by the Pooja, that if you have any question, put it on the Slack. She will definitely reply to your queries, and she can. We are here to help you all. So we would like to see more your projects using the Flutter Flow. We're happy to see your products, what you are building. So thank you so much, Pooja. Thank you for your Flutter Flow team who are just when we just mentioned that can we do this kind of boot camp, and you said yes, why not, and you give her your time. I know you are in India that time and it's very late night for you, but still you managed that. Thank you so much, Pooja. And yeah, thank you everyone who joined these sessions for and started learning Flutter Flow with the Flutter Devcamp. So we are thank you for all. But before just ending this session, I just want to give, because GDG London is always busy to create a new events. Maybe you have already seen on the social as well. So we have a next event on the GDG London platform is Google Cloud Architecture Kata. And if you are interested, if you are in London, because it's a in-person event, not online, so you can register through this link uh, and enjoy this session with our new mentors and new stuff with the Google Cloud, because we normally talk about Flutter, but now we are bringing more thing into the our DevCamp. The next thing is that, as you know, we are working for the Flutter Devcamp from last 3 years, but as you know, AI is a buzzword, and that's why we want to bring the AI also here. So we have open for call for mentees. If you are interested to learn about the AI, if you are a Flutter developer or any kind of developer and who wants to add the AI knowledge with your previous knowledge, so please do join this program. We are bringing all the expert from the AI community, from the Google itself as well, to build this who are the developer and who doesn't have a knowledge of AI. This is for you. So this is starting from the 1st of May. It's a 7-week program, and the ending of the program will end with the hackathon. So don't miss this chance. Please join if you are interested in AI. So this is our last thing. This is upcoming things, just like a roadmap of the GDG London. So that's what I want to just mention. And thank you so much for everyone to join this dev camp.
Yeah, wow, like you guys don't stop. Devcam after Devcam after Devcam. That's so cool. Like
Yeah,
I think that's why I love your community for sure. Like, you're always, working towards like teaching the next best thing.
yeah,
Like exciting the AI workshop as well. And
yeah,
I'm hoping that the Flutter Flow workshop or the boot camp definitely helped you guys. I'm seeing the comments on the chat, and like people are talking about like suggesting it to their companies, or like, trying it out after this workshop as well. And definitely we would need all the feedback that you have to improve this like exponentially. So like we want to like make this the best visual environment for building application. So very looking forward to any questions, any like apps that you build in the future, that just drop it in the chat and we can just use it and like give you feedback on that. And if you have doubts, definitely put it in the Slack channel as well. But yeah, I'm so excited to finish this 4 week and like, interacting with a lot of you. I think now I will also know these names when I see them in conferences.
yeah.
So definitely
That's the
looking forward
beauty,
to.
right? That's the beauty, Pooja, because it's a closed group set that you can know how the people
Yes,
what they are doing and other stuff. So that's the beauty of this, the closed
absolutely.
group. Yeah.
Very much looking forward to meeting people from here in the future, physically in conferences. Probably you'll be giving a Flutterflow talk or something. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so glad. Thank you so much for inviting me, Renuka.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for all the efforts you have done for this. Thank you so much. Yeah. You always give us the all kind of support. From last 3 years, we are doing DevCam, and you are always there for each cohort, basically. So you are our big supporter for the Flutter DevCam. Thank you so much, Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you. Of course, like this is my favorite community.
Thanks for that. So yeah, thank you everyone. If you have any question, put it on the Slack. We are doing so many new things, so just join us for the next time as well. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.
Bye. I will stop. Yes. Stop sharing.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks.